From now on, my full-time job is finding a guy who's going to take care of me.
You guys are responsible for me and everything else that comes with me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MST channel where we talk about all things hypergamy. We are back with part 12 of In Too Deep, Gambling for a Married Man's Heart. Part 11. Morning couldn't come fast enough. Melissa and Maria just left, and I texted Mike around 6 a.m. that I needed to see him urgently. In about 20 minutes, I heard a knock at the door. I looked through the peephole, and it was Mr. Hodges. "Good morning, honey," I greeted him as he opened the door. "Good morning, doll. I got here as fast as I could." "Is everything okay?" he asked. "I don't know, Mike," I said, sounding frantic. "My mom is in a bind, and she may lose her house," I lied, and started crying hysterically. "Oh no, baby," he said, concerned. "Don't cry. How much does she owe on the house?" "Well, she missed 3 payments," I replied. "No, Sheila, I meant how much more does she have before it's paid off?" he asked. "About 115,000, I responded. I sat on the ground, bawling my eyes out. Mr. Hodges looked at me with the utmost sadness in his eyes. "Sheila, baby, please don't cry. Everything will be okay." "But how? How, Mike?" I asked. "I'll give you the money." That's quite a large sum of money to give you in cash, though. I'm going to have to wire it to my lawyer and have him wire it to you, so it doesn't trace back to me." "When is her deadline to pay the mortgage?" he asked. "On Monday, babe." It was already Friday, so I needed to make it urgent. "Don't cry, baby," he said as he sat beside me on the floor. "Listen, nothing is going to happen to your mother's home, okay?" "Okay, baby," I responded, shaken. "Let me go call my lawyer and let him know of the transfer, okay, baby?" "All right, I'm going to wash my face," I said. As I got up off the floor and headed to the bathroom, my heart was pounding. While I was in the bathroom, I heard him telling his lawyer that he was going to wire money from his Swiss account to him and that he needed to wire it to a friend, and that it should be strictly confidential. I couldn't believe my ears. This man made any and everything happen for me with such ease. I had to get a lump sum from him before I told him what Maria told me. If I risked telling him first, he may have paused on giving me money. I won't tell him until I have received the wire transfer about what I learned. "Sheila," he called me. "Yes, honey," I replied as I opened the bathroom door. "My lawyer has agreed. Here's his email. I told him you'll be sending over your wire transfer information since it's still early. You will have the wire before 5 p.m. today." "Thank you, baby," I said as I jumped into his arms. "Don't ever cry about money again, okay?" "Okay, babe," I responded. I just panicked, Mike. I really don't like seeing my mom stress about money. "I know the feeling, Sheila. I've worked pretty hard to make sure my folks will always be okay." "Okay, baby, I'm gonna call my bank in Switzerland and see. I'm gonna call my bank in Switzerland and see about the transfer to my lawyer. Give me a sec, okay?" "Okay, baby," I replied. I was screaming inside. This man was really about to wire me $115,000 just like that. I wonder what I would get if I gave up the pussy, I asked myself. But who am I kidding? You get more when you don't give up the pussy. I texted Maria to find out when she will be starting her job at Mrs. Hodges' sister. She replied and told me that she officially started on Monday. I told her to keep me updated of any new developments. She gave me her word that she would. I wanted to find out any move Mrs. Hodges was making. I'll tell Mike tonight about what I know. This was risky because I didn't want the money to slow down, but if his wife digs and finds out, things may get worse. When Mike got back in the room, he told me to get dressed. Why, baby? I asked. We're going to get the rest of the stuff for your place, he said. My eyes lit up as I jumped up and hugged him tightly. We only had one more night at the Four Seasons, so this was great. He must have forgot he gave me $50K yesterday for the place to be decorated. Anyways, I wasn't complaining. I want to cheer you up. I don't like seeing you sad, he said. Well, if this is what crying gets me, I should cry more often, I thought. Thank you, baby, I said as I kissed him. I quickly took a shower and put on a pink velour sweatsuit and some sneakers. It was about to be a long day. I hired a driver for the day with a big truck, said Mr. Hodges. Where would you like to go first? He asked. Well, I want to get my dining set and some bar stools for the island, I replied. Okay, let's go back to restoration hardware, he responded. When we got downstairs, Mr. Hodges had a black truck waiting for us. When we got to restoration hardware, I headed straight to the dining section. Mr. Hodges picked out a Calacatta Viola design dining table with gold chairs, and the sales associate showed him 4 matching bar stools so the place would look uniform. I had to admit, this man had taste. We had looked at several others before this, but this was the one. I picked out a center table for the living room and 2 huge wall paintings. Mr. Hodges placed the order with the sales associate and asked me where to next. Well, we need bedding, I replied. I only have the bedding that I was gifted by Restoration Hardware when I purchased the furniture the other day. All right, let's go. We stood outside as he signaled the driver. Where to, Mr. Hodges? The driver asked. Take us to Williams-Sonoma, Mr. Hodges replied. About 15 minutes later, we pulled up to Williams-Sonoma. I've never been to this place. I only saw it on TV or in magazines. As we walked in, I was amazed at how beautiful it was. Where do you want to start? He asked. Let's start at the bedding, I responded. I picked out about 7 sets of king-sized sheets. They were the most soft and luxurious sheets I've ever felt. I also picked out 6 pillows and 4 fur throws. Then it was time to hit the linens. I picked out 3 sets of linens for the bedroom, 4 sets for the living room, and 4 sets each for the kitchen and bathroom. I then got bathroom mats and accessories and picked out 4 different pot sets. I didn't want to choose, so I took all 4. I'll just gift some to my mom. I also picked out a coffee machine, some cutlery, and a Ninja to blend my smoothies. I grabbed a griddle and a 200-piece dinnerware set. Let's just say we got all the essentials. We spent so much money that they gifted us a steamer, air fresheners, and some more products. Mr. Hodges paid for it all. I was shocked he didn't make me use the 50K, but hey, I'm not complaining. I had 1 year to make things right because my rent was paid up for the year. My car was paid off, and he paid the insurance on it for the entire year as well. I had to make sure I used this next year to secure some big bags. I was not about to go back to the broke stages. Is that everything, honey? Yes, baby, I replied. I was more than happy with what we got. I even got a new makeup vanity for my room. I was ready to decorate my new place. Our final stop was Target. I got cleaning supplies, enough grocery to last about 6 weeks, and then we headed back to my place. After we dropped off all the stuff, we headed back to the Four Seasons to get dressed for dinner. It was around 6 p.m., which was kind of early for us, but I was starving, so I didn't mind. I quickly showered and got dressed in a little black dress and some Gucci heels. Mr. Hodges bought a dress shirt and pants with him every time he came over, just in case we were going out. Wow, Sheila, you look so good. Thank you, Mike. He looked sexy as well in his Prada outfit. It fit him perfectly. You need a classic purse, he said as he stared at my LV chained purse. What you mean, baby? I asked. Always choose bags that appreciate in value, he said. I was still lost. LV and Gucci doesn't appreciate much. Start buying bags such as Chanel or Hermes that will go up in value over time. Tell you what, I'll have a Valencia from the boutique talk to you about choosing purses and jewelry, he said. Your purse is cute, don't get me wrong, but I want you to own a classic collection as well. Okay, baby, I responded as he kissed me. Ready to go? He asked. Yes, I replied. We went to a steakhouse for dinner. I could tell Mr. Hodges was hungry because the moment the food came, he zoned out. I was too. The filet mignon was especially great tonight. Maybe I was just hungry. After dinner, the driver took us back to the hotel. I was so tired. I took my heels off and undressed down to just my panties and bra. One second, guys. I lost where I was. And undressed down to just my panties and bra and crawled into bed. The wire transfer from Mr. Hodges' lawyer had came through, and I was planning on telling him about Mrs. Hodges, but I was too tired to speak. Mr. Hodges took his clothes off and laid next to me in just his boxers. Next thing I know, we were both fast asleep. Around 5 a.m., Mr. Hodges jumped up. Oh shit, fuck. He was frantic, trying to find his clothes. What's wrong, baby? I asked. Today's my anniversary, and Kathy called me 87 times. I didn't realize I had my phone on silent. I went to dinner early so I could go home last night, but I was so tired I must have passed out. Then his phone rang again. Mrs. Hodges was upset, but sounded more concerned when Mike answered the phone. Mike, where are you? She asked, worried. I had a meeting at the Ritz, and I was too tired to drive, so I got a room. And you didn't bother to call me, Mike? She asked angrily. Sorry, baby, I was really beat, he replied. Well, at least you're okay, but you need to let me know when you won't be coming home, Mike. I know, honey, I'm sorry. By the way, happy anniversary. You remembered? Mrs. Hodges asked. Of course, honey. I'll be home soon. See you then. Bye. Mr. Hodges ended the call. Sheila, baby, I gotta go. Wait, Mike, I said. What is it, honey? He asked. I was nervous, but I had to let him know what Maria had told me. Does your wife have a younger sister? I asked. Yes, she does, he answered, looking confused. Where does she live? I asked. The next neighborhood over from me, he responded. Was she in France this summer? I questioned. Yes, she was, but why do you care about Kathy's sister? He asked. Well, the thing is, Mike, my friend texted me last night that she got a job working with her as a babysitter, and your wife came over there discussing your change in behavior. And while my friend was waiting for her Uber, she overheard your wife's sister encouraging her to check your accounts to make sure you weren't cheating. She said she checked your US accounts and nothing was gone, but she will try to gain access to your offshore accounts to see if there's any unusual activity. Are you serious? He asked, looking stressed. I'm sorry, my friend told me last night, but I didn't want to wake you, honey, I lied. I'm glad you told me, Sheila. My offshore accounts have nothing to do with Kathy, so I don't know why she would go snooping. I'll make sure to call my banker and let him know to add extra security that she won't be able to check the transactions. It's a lucky thing I was taking money from those accounts and not the ones here in America. I gotta get home to smooth things over. Love you, Sheila, he said as he kissed me on the lips. I'll text you. Okay, baby, I said as I hugged him goodbye. There's no telling what Mr. Hodges was about to walk into. Even I was nervous for him. It was my last morning at the Four Seasons, so I packed my bags and loaded up my car. If Mr. Hodges' wife found out that he was spending money on another woman, that could slow my money down, and that made me nervous. I had $165,000 stashed away in my savings, plus all of the money that I worked at my job at the Hodges' household, but I was still not ready to go back to a regular life. As I drove to my new home, I began thinking of ways to maximize my earnings, because after today, I didn't know if Mr. Hodges would be in problems with his wife. I needed a plan, and fast. And there you have it. That was part 11 of Into Deep Gambling for a Married Man's Heart. In the next chapter, we find out what does his wife know, if she knows anything at all, and how the whole thing is gonna unfold. I may just record that one tonight and then post it tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and post part 11 today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for commenting and giving your feedback. Thank you for thumbsing up the video, and more importantly, thanks for subscribing and being a return viewer. If you're new here, welcome. I thank you guys. See you in the next video.